Hmm. There's Veronica. I know Veronica.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our office hours. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a few minutes. While you're waiting, if you want to put your name, your role, and organization in the chat, just so that we are familiarize ourselves with who's in the room, and then we'll be able to make some good connections after the office hours as well. Okay, we can probably go ahead and get started. Sometimes we have people who will join in later, and then also we will have this recorded so that people can view it at their own leisure. Sometimes that's easier at the with the 3:30 time that we have here today. So I will go ahead and get started and kick us off, and then we'll pass it over to John here in just a minute. So thank you for joining us for our Farm to School office hours. We're excited to host you. The Indiana Grown for Schools Network hosts monthly office hours to be able to support you in providing opportunities to answer any farm to school questions that you may have, help you understand how you can kickstart a farm to school initiative or how you can build upon a current one. We also usually provide opportunities to share resources, grants, and one of my favorites are success stories from across the state. And before we get started, I just want to make sure that I introduce the Indiana Grown for Schools Network and what our mission and vision is. So, the Indiana Grown for Schools Network is a network that supports farm to school initiatives across the state. We truly envision an Indiana food system that is engaging our young people, farmers, school systems, our community food systems in farm to school activities to create a new generation of food citizens. And we are on mission to help schools implement opportunities for school gardens, incorporate ag and nutrition education into an already existing curriculum, and expand our local food procurement efforts. So if you haven't visited our website yet, I would encourage you to do so. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Today, we're especially excited to feature a success story from Madison Consolidated High School. They are one of our Farm to School grantees, and they really have showcased where local partnerships and creative planning can have a huge impact on community and student engagement. So, today we're going to hear from John and learn a little bit more about what has happened in his community and how we may be able to use this as a resource for learning amongst our other communities across the state. So, John, I will mute myself and you can take it
All
away.
right. So as Brianna said, is that it's Madison Consolidated High School, and we have created a farm stop. I wish the girls were here to be able to present to you because they do such a much better. Look at Veronica; she's saying yes, they do. They do a much better job than I do. But I just want to take you all through and just tell you a little bit about our story and how this evolved and kind of get through it as quickly as we can, but and then open it up for any questions. So this is kind of our intro page. I'd like to introduce the team. If Brandy, go to the next slide. I'm trying to think what order they're in. So we were presented an idea from Madison Youth Unlimited, which is an organization in Madison that has done a really wonderful job with all the local schools and community to provide fresh local food in our community and kind of spread the word. So about 2 years ago, and it is almost to the day, they presented to the school about this opportunity about a farm stop. Obviously, I had no idea what a farm stop was, but they encouraged us to go out and look at different websites. Argus Farm Stop, there's one in Bloomington, and there's several across the country. And we took an interest in the project and decided that what a great opportunity to enhance our education programs. And we could tie a lot of things in, from agriculture to just our business programs and so on. So we went out and we selected 7 girls originally, and those are our seniors, and that was Ava Armbrecht, Avery Clayton, Lily Cox, Annie Kempton, Sophie Gurgis, Riley Coupler, and Emma Wynn. And then the year later, Lily Cannon and Ellie Whitaker joined us. But this group was kind of the lead, and they were hand selected because of their interest in creating or understanding entrepreneurship. Each one of them has a different pathway that they were going into. In fact, Lily Cox is staying in town, and she will serve as our apprentice manager for the farm stop when it opens here in a couple weeks. And then she'll go to school locally here at our Ivy Tech school and finish up her, she already has her associate's degree, so she'll finish up her bachelor's degree. So if you go to the next slide. So entrepreneurship was really important to us. And so one of the things is that, we think about attributes of entrepreneurs, and that's leadership, innovation, knowledge, and so on. And this was not a class. I am not a teacher. Okay. I have 40 years of business experience, retired, and I went back to work at the school. And this was a great opportunity for me to kind of take those 40 years of experience and to be able to share this with this group of students. And so it was perfect timing, as I said, is that I come in, Laura Rico from Madison Youth Unlimited comes in, and they share this idea with us, and I select these girls. And so they're all bright. I think their average GPA is like 4.5, so they're just excellent students. But we looked at it, and if you think about entrepreneurship, you think about opportunities. Well, we were already presented with an opportunity, but we didn't understand it. So we had to do a lot of work. We went on-site visits. We created a situation assessment, built a framework, put a plan together, put a budget together. Once they had that, they went out and they had presentations, appearances at different shows. They did an excellent job. But we organized this business and all these fields you think about: market research, market planning, and then the pitch. And then they were an excellent job about going out and doing the pitch to make sure that we're trying to raise money to be able to open our farm stop. Go to the next one, please. So the first thing we did was create mission, vision, and core values. And you think about a group of high school students, when you think about, this is something totally new to them. They're like, they don't think about mission, vision, and core values, man. They're just thinking about getting through school and thinking about what the next thing is. And so this was really important for us, and it actually connected to what our core values are at the school and our mission and vision at the school as well. So we empowered students with educational opportunities to grow our local food economy in the garden, the cafeteria, the classroom, and the community. And our purpose is to inspire the healthier food system and engages young people, farmers, educational settings, and the community to a new generation of food awareness, strengthening our farm economy while protecting our environment. Now, the cool thing about this is that we had core values. Now, our core values, these are our store core values, but the girls created core values for themselves so that we keep ourselves grounded as we went through this process. There was no wrong ideas. You can throw everything out there, but I won't share those with you. But our core values for the store is community. We want to make sure that we have a front from our students, from our community, creating this triangle of people, and our farmers is most importantly. Kindness, treat everybody with kindness. Integrity, of course, integrity is a big core value. You think about trust and the factors of integrity. Education, it is an educational program. Accessibility, this isn't just for one class of people in our community, it's for everybody. Madison Youth Unlimited is doing a great job helping us to provide programs to make sure that everybody can come to our store and purchase local food. And once we're open for a year, we can apply for a SNAP program as well. And then sustainability, we're in the farming and environment is important to us. How can we minimize waste? And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as we go through the program. All right, Brandon, next slide, please. All right, introduction as far as what's a farm stop. I know a lot of people, it was new to me. I had to go out and research. If you're ever interested, since we're not even open yet, we will be in a couple of weeks, but the best farm stop to go to figure it all out is go out to Argus Farm Stop. They're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and they have been a huge help in steering us in the right direction as our consultants, and they've been extremely helpful. But you think about a farm stop, the introduction of this is basically, think about a farmer's market on Saturday, and then having that, all what you get there on a farmer's market available to you every single day. And so we don't close. We're Monday through Sunday, open every single day. Our hours are a little bit, I think we're open a little bit more in the summertime than we were during school, because it is a student-run program. It must be all the workers, everybody there, with the exception of me as the supervisor, must be students. And so they continue to work our business plan. And so they work there, they work the business plan. We continually to evolve this program. And I'll tell you a little bit about as far as the practices and things they did. But the farm stop in itself is just kind of, it's a new thing. It's growing nationwide. I have a slide in here and I'll show you how many are currently, and I think it's expanded up almost maybe 18 to 20, I think, right now. Okay, next one, please. So our project overview, as I said before, is part of our career and technical education program. We wanted to enhance our programs. And so we figured this is the best way to kind of collectively engage a number of pathways. So culinary and agriculture being the primary two, but business pathway, marketing pathway. Believe it or not, we have engineering and manufacturing and actually be involved this as well. So we wanted to create this so that the kids have an opportunity, I shouldn't say kids, the students have an opportunity to work their capstones and being able to go to an environment where they actually are hands-on. I'll give you a great example. The culinary students will come down beginning of the year. We start back at school. They take 3 days of classes where they're taught, and then they come down to work with me for 2 days in the store, and they'll provide pastries or whatever their curriculum is for that week to the store. Then they are actually paid for that as well. And so it's a great opportunity for them. Agriculture is the same way. We're trying to get a garden and get somebody interested in taking over that garden. And so what they produce would actually be sold in the store as well. There's a lot of different things we will work on. As I said before, is that this was built from the ground up and giving them a great opportunity to see it all the way through. Unfortunately, our initial group, they graduated. They didn't get a chance to work at the store, but we'll recognize them and honor them as kind of our, that's their legacy as far as getting this program going. Okay, next one. Okay, so our academic vision, I already talked about CTE programs, kind of expanding that, but we also want to eventually push this down to the elementary schools. And we started that a little bit this year with our partnership with Madison Youth Unlimited, where they've actually gone to rooftop gardens. They've had some bed gardens at some of the elementary schools. And our most successful one is an elementary school in Deputy, where the parents, they volunteer every day to take care of the garden. It's an all summer long activity, and they post things out there and they sign up for it. And the other great thing is that they've adventured out to one more thing, is they hatch some chickens, they're raising the chickens, and they're going to start producing eggs coming this fall. So it's a great opportunity that we're kind of pushing this down. We're going to try to get into the junior high level as well. We have great interest in students coming in their freshman and sophomore years, so the program is expanding. but this is all part of the capstone programs and a lot of the things that the students go through. So we do think we're the first in the state to have a program like this. We may be the first in the nation. I know that there is a great garden down in Alabama, and there's a grocery store in Nebraska, and I'm sure there's several other things, even a couple things in the state of Indiana that do. But this, in regards to this farm stop, we think we're the first. The students have 3 opportunities to be involved. They can be on the management team, they can work in the store operations, and they can be a grower or / producer, or they can be all 3. Matter of fact, Lily Cox, who's staying on and serving her apprenticeship, she's the management team, she's working in store operations, and she is a beekeeper. So she produces honey and will be selling her honey in the store. So those are the opportunities for them as they move forward. Okay. Next, please. So I talked about the community. The Farm Stop creates that community tapestry where you get the students, the farmer, and the community to come together. Without this, the students, they don't engage. This is one of the first times that I've seen at the school level where you have the agriculture students and the business students all come together, and then engaging ourselves with farmers. And a lot of these students, they've never been to a farm until they started this. And so it was a great opportunity to understand where your food is grown. And then the community has given us, at this point right now, has been very supportive, and we're much appreciative for that. Okay. Now, essential components as far as the student, farmer, and consumer, that's, as I keep going and say, that's our tapestry we think about. We are direct consumer sales, which is really important for our business model. So everything we sell is on consignment. And so we never purchase it from the farmer. Our model is that the farmer sells it, or the farmer grows it, they bring it to us, we sell it for them, they get 70%, we get 30%. They set the price, we don't. They inform us in regards to how long the product stays on the shelf. It's all their rules and design. We're just the person that passes it through. This allows them an opportunity to grow the great produce and the meat products that they do. And then they drop it off to us, we inventory it, and they go back into the fields and continue to do more. And so this is a great opportunity for them to really to extend themselves without having to be present in the marketplace. As I said before, they control the commercial conditions in which their products are sold. They also, we know whether or not it's organic, conventional, whatever it may be. We take all that in consideration. We label it so people know. The farmers retain high margins. We did not go through the entire presentation, so there's some wonderful research that our girls have done that talk about the farmers and where the dollars go through a commercial process, how many miles your food travels before it gets to you, and so on. This is directly from farmer to the table, which is really good. The customer completely aware of the math. We don't hide that. We talk about it all the time. We make sure that they know that it's a 70-30 split. We have great partnerships with our farms, and we share the risk in regards to what they bring in and what we're going to sell. And then there's really low food waste. This is the partnership in regards to the school as well. And so during the culling process, as the product starts to over mature, I would say, the school swoops in and they buy it at a reduced rate of 50%, goes to the cafeteria, allows them to either make soups or put the eggs in their cookies, whatever it may be, that they're able to use that. And so that's a great resource. It's something that the other farm stops could do this. They just have to partner with the school. But this has been really helpful for us to be able to have the school as a backup. So when things start to go, get that maturity date, farmer says, yes, I'm ready to sell it off. And then they swoop in and help us out. So we share the risk and all that. And then it gives us an opportunity to get great food in our school. It's a mutual trust model, is that they're trusting us with their product. We're trusting in their growing practices. And so it's working out really well. Okay. I think this might be 2 more slides. No, this is a farm stops across the country, just so that you know. Of course, we're there in Indiana, and there's Bloomington Farm Stop. They've been extremely helpful as well. They were close. That was our initial visit. So we can go in and kind of analyze as far as what they're doing, understand their best practices, and so that we can move forward with it. Argus out of Ann Arbor has been great. Michigan, you can see, is a great hub for all this. And I have to give a call out to Local Roots. Local Roots is the farm study that started it all. They're the ones that Argus went to visit and understood as far as what their model is. Everybody has kind of a different way they do it, but for the most part, it's all have the primary purpose of actually kind of localizing our food supply. Okay. This is our store. It is going through some renovations right now. We're just wrapping up. As over to, you can see in the slide, we do have a cafe. I'll talk about that in the next slide, but there's a store, there's an industrial kitchen, there's an experience room, and of course we have a delivery room as well. This is downtown Madison, right on Main Street. We did some research as far as the activity. This was a store that Kara Fox owns, and she still has a businesses in the back room, and we watched the modeling behind this, and there's like 20,000 people that visit this store and spend more than an hour in it each year. So we're hoping that that continues, and will hopefully it will increase as well. Okay. Let's give you a little example of what it's all about. Okay, so we will be offering local cheese, dairy. We will have a cafe. The cafe is a revenue stream for us that we don't share back with anybody, and so it helps us pay our bills. We are underneath the school as an umbrella, so we're a non-for-profit organization. Most of these farm stops would only make about a 1 to 2% profit anyway. We're not here to be in a profit of the business. Anything that does become profitable to us, we put into a scholarship fund for the students that actually work in the farm stop. So our number one goal is to make sure that we maintain and create sustainability of our business, and just kind of make sure that we provide this resource for our community. We have bread with local bakers, obviously the vegetables and the meat supply as well, from anywhere from pork, chicken, beef, lamb, turkey, rabbit. There's a whole loads of things that we have available. And then obviously the cafe, the experience piece that you saw in there, Kara, who owns the building, is kind of a shared space for us. It's an overflow for our cafe, but she continues to put on experiences, and we will share in that as well. Is that, for instance, sourdough baking classes, quilt classes, painting classes, anything we can think of, we'll share those experiences throughout the year. Okay. All right, exploring the possibilities. So we have a cafe. It's a full scale. It's really important to our revenue stream. We have a culinary kitchen, which is really important for us, primarily as the capstone for our students, so that they can come down, bake in the kitchen, and be able to sell their product throughout the cafe. We also rent out the culinary kitchen. Anybody that actually produces for the store can come in and produce for free, and then they share in that 70-30 split with us as well. We do lease it out, though. We have a lot of caterers in town, and we are currently the only culinary kitchen, industrial kitchen approved in Madison right now. So this is going to be a big win for us. We weren't when we started, but during the process of this, the only one kitchen in town closed down. So we're going to have that advantage. It is local students and community arts and crafts, school gardens and greenhouses. We want to continue to push down through the elementary schools, and then our ultimate goal is to get a greenhouse at the high school. We currently have one. It would take more to renovate it than it would just to build a new one, but we want to start those programs. Our culling process is going to start this fall with our farm to school program. And then we have a food access to low income families, which is a support of the Madison Youth Unlimited. We had a sneak preview about a month ago, and we already have restaurants that are knocking on our door and asking us to help be a partner. And we'd love to do that, with the exception, we can't guarantee anything until we know what we have. And so we're going to put those on hold until we know that we have enough farm product coming in and to support our store, and then we'll be able to kind of stretch out there. And then lastly, we envision to have a food truck. One day, I know there'll be a culinary student in there and want to explore, but the opportunities are endless, and so we're really looking forward to it. And with that, I think we have one more slide, and it's kind of our logo. And which is Growing Minds Farm Stop, from know to grow to seeds we sow. And that's who we are. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, John, for sharing. That was great. I can't wait to visit it when it's in full motion. And I was able to see kind of the behind the scenes. I know a couple of us on the call were able to see that and just see it come to fruition. It's been a long time coming. So, does anyone have any questions for John at this time?
Should I just make one more thing at there, is
Sure.
because I see Veronica and of course Grant here, USDA and Department of Health. Thank you so much for the grants and been really helpful. We can't do that. We can't do this without you and then the local people in the town as well as being supportive. So thank you so much for all your help.
Very welcome. If anyone has any questions, you can come off mute or you can drop them in the chat.
All right.
I don't have questions. I just have some a comment. I mean, you all have you've been knocking it out of the park. Just like Brianna mentioned, kind of, doing those visits and, the behind the scenes and seeing those pictures every time that I've gone to visit to see how much more you've added to the building and how it's all coming together and seeing the different components from, the high school, meeting the girls. That was just, I was blown away with the girls. But just seeing the different components, how you're working with the students, the student gardens, the taste test with the students, and even attending that family engagement night where they asked the student or the parents to send family recipes in, and then they brought a chef to actually prepare those recipes, and then they got to taste those that evening and then rate them. Letting the school know that yes, we want you to serve these in the school in the cafeteria. So that was wonderful to see that piece. And then the third component, which is the farmer listening sessions that are currently going on right now. I mean, and it's all coming together. So great job, John.
It is. It's been a journey. 2 years. We weren't anticipating it'd be 2 years. We were hoping that it would be a year at the most. And unfortunately, it was a great learning opportunity for the students because it just not everything goes the way you want it to. And it was great for them to kind of understand that, once you hit a wall, you got to back up and figure out another way to get it done. And so I just want everybody to know as well as that the students themselves, they control it. So they conducted over 30 something interviews to hire the new students we have who are going to be employees at the store. They created the rubric in regards to a kind of a grading process for that. They created the questions, they conducted the interviews, they created videos to support the store. Anytime that we have a function, they're in the front of everything, leading the program. So hats off to them for taking the lead. I just push them in the right direction and they go. So it's been wonderful to watch them grow. And I'm really excited about the other. We got about 23 students currently. We've been going through training, and I'm excited about that group of students as well. A little bit younger group. We have many sophomores and juniors this year, and I think once we let the freshmen kind of get acclimated to high school, we'll probably bring some of them in probably 6 months after they get started. So it's all been good.
I know that you had shared before that you were brought in not even like with the education background, but with a business background,
yes.
To do something really unique at Madison Consolidated. But can you talk a little bit about like administrative support? Like how did you gain that support from your administrators to be able to do this project? And maybe like what were some of the barriers and the solutions? Because I know that can be one, administrative support can be a barrier when starting something that involves our students that is so big.
Yeah. Well, the good news is our superintendent is very competitive. And so, as everybody knows, if you're in the school system, it is a competition in regards to get students to come to your school. More students you get to your school, the more money the state pays for your programs to be able to run. I was retired and needed something to do. And I approached the school looking to come on in a different role, and I did not get that role. And so they came back to me and asked me if I would coach their principals. They had a whole new group of principals to school they wanted me to coach. And then they asked me to lead be a coordinator for the CTE program. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what that was. It took me a while to kind of do some research and figure it out. And so right out of the gate, coaching is something that I'm very familiar with. Leading educational programs was not. And so right out of the gate, I had to educate myself as far as what we can do. And it really was about how we enhance our programs. I wanted to grow our programs. I was thinking, outside the box, how do we bring in mechanical and construction and all this stuff, but it costs way too much money and resources to do that. And so why don't we enhance what we have? I was just at the right place at the right time when Laura Rico presented this to the school. I will tell you, the superintendent and the administration team was very supportive. The teachers that were present, they were kind of unsure, right? They've heard things like this before, but I was excited about it. I was so excited about it after I visited the Bloomington Farm Stop that I came back and basically told them, I said, if you don't want to do this, then I resigned from my position because I'm going to open this farm stop, because it was just such a great opportunity for everyone, the local community and the farmers. I'm a farmer myself. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I can respect as far as the hard work that goes into farming and the little return that you get on your investment. And so this is just a wonderful opportunity. And they gave me some leads. We did have some roadblocks in regards to funding. We are hoping there was a local community or a local organization that we thought would fund most of it, and that's where we kind of had a setback. Once we had a setback, and then we had some local investors that invested in the program and led the way. And we never stopped there. Of course, we're constantly going out there. And now that we've had a sneak peek and open house, we're getting all kinds of support from the community. So it's been very, very helpful. But hopefully that answers your question, Brianna. Yeah. So it was, like I said, right place, right time. I had a great group of high school students who believed in it. They did get a little senioritis last year, but that was expected. They still stayed true all the way through. This next group coming in is just exciting to watch them kind of go through the training programs, and we're just really we just can't wait for it to open. It seems like we're getting closer and closer and closer, and I think I'm excited. The farmers are excited, and the students are especially excited. Now the only problem we have is that 90% of my students are in 4-H. And so the week we want to open, there you all are at the fair. And so I'm trying to coordinate their fair schedule and the store schedule so we can make it work.
That's awesome. And I think you've done such a great job of telling your story. We've talked about that as a farm to school team, how important that can be to really promote what you're doing. You talked about competitiveness within schools. And
Yep.
So I think you've done a great job, and you're willing to share your story with us here at this office hour. I do have one additional question. When you talked about the food waste and it going, any extra food going to the school cafeteria, how did you start those conversations with the food service directors regarding those local products being used?
Well, the food service director was part of the initial presentation. And so once I was announced the lead of the program, she was one of the first representatives that I went to see. And she was really excited because she's tried to get local farmers and buy from local farmers, and it's just really tough. And so after I did some research and so on in regards to what I never knew what culling was, but now I do. But that culling process in regards to the stores, explained it to her and got our farmers to agree to is that, look, it's better to get it buy it at sell it at 50% than it is to go in the trash or or feed the pigs or whatever it may be. And so the school was really excited, and we've trialed and erred some of those things as well. So we've tried some things where we had some of the lettuce and stuff in the salad bar, and we've used some of the eggs in the cookies that were baked, and the process in itself will work. Obviously, when we're not in school, it provides a problem, and so we are looking to see if any of the local restaurants or any the golf course, and there's a lot of public places that serve food, that see if they would be interested in partnering while school's not in session. Yeah, but it was everybody's been really excited about it. Okay, and but I just think I said earlier is that there was a lot of doubt at first because there's all these promises and things come through. Even the farmers, when I first met with the farmers, they're like, "Yeah, I heard it before," and now that we've really come full circle, everybody seems to really get behind it. So we're going to go out and continue to tell our story. We'd be more than happy to help anybody else who wants to get involved in this. As I said before, we did not do it on our own. We had great supports from all of you. We had support from Bloomington Farm Stop and Argus. They've been exceptional. And Argus leads the way. They do a big conference every single year, bringing all the farm stops together. And they're just a wonderful organization. And we're just proud to be part of that big circle.
Well, keep up the great work. Does anyone else have any last minute questions for John?
All right. Nothing.
Well, I will stop sharing my screen. We do have 30, close to, I guess, 25 minutes. So our office hours, we do provide just some open conversation or networking opportunities so that people can ask questions as it relates to Farm to School. So if you have any other questions, comments, or if you want to share things that are happening within your community, we'll open up that time now. And if we don't, we'll adjourn a bit early today.
I'll go ahead and Brianna, since John had mentioned the funding that he received through us. So it's in the chat. I added the website on there. That's through the Lake Michigan School Food System Innovation Hub. So the website is on there. Right now, we're working on the RFAs. We're hoping that those will be released in the fall. That is the goal right now. And we will be releasing both the Spark Awards, which are up to $100,000, and that can be for the action planning process or any kitchen equipment that is needed in the cafeterias to kind of bring in more local foods into the cafeterias. Also, the Innovation Collaborative Grant, that's a bigger grant, and that's the one that Madison had applied to. That's right now it's going from 250,000 for 2.5 years up to 500,000. So we are increasing that amount. And that amount can go, like I said, can go up to $500,000, but those would be for more regional projects. And we're talking like, an entire region of the state or even a statewide project. So if you check that out, check out the website, and I am also going to share, there's a link here for office hours. I'm going to start those office hours next month in July. You can just go ahead, look in there, you can schedule a time. And if you have any questions in regards to that funding, I can answer those questions, project ideas, any questions you have in regards to that funding.
I have a question about, I'm in a small school in Columbus, Indiana, a private school. And I guess the closest place would be Bloomington to get anything. How would I be able to get some of that stuff, and how could I get signed up for it?
Okay. Well, as I would tell you, let us get started first. Okay. And I'll share my email address down here as well. And so you can just share with me your contact information and I'll be able to reach out to you. Reason I'm hesitant to say, hey, it'll be available to you is just because I just like anything, right? And the same thing I tell the restaurants, I'm not real sure what our production capacity is going to be right out of the gate. I'm optimistic it's going to be really good and strong at first, but that's just the newness of the program, and we're going to have to do a really good job on social media and just communicate in regards to what's available and try to keep things exciting in our community. But once we kind of settle in, I'd be more than happy to talk to you because I know for a fact that our farmers, they want, their success is driven by how often and how much we can sell through our program. And so I'll make sure I type my email address in here, and then you can just follow up with me. Okay.
Okay.
And Kurt, can you share a little bit about your role in Columbus schools?
I'm the cafeteria manager. This is my
Okay.
first year doing anything. I've been in nursing homes, and I've
Right.
been at gourmet restaurants and hotels. I've hurt my back, so I can't do all that fancy stuff anymore. But I love serving kids and just helping the community.
That's
And
awesome.
That's good.
Good. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. I also want to make sure, as a follow-up, and I will send it to you if you want to put your email in the chat. We have value chain coordinators around the state, but we also have a farm to school value chain coordinator who really helps to bridge the gap between our cafeteria staff and our local producers. That could be a broadline distributor that's selling local. It could be selling directly. So I want to make sure that you have her information, as she will be able to answer a lot of questions that you may have as you're getting started with
who is
local
that?
food purchasing. Her name is Anna Holloway. She's our farm to
Okay.
school value chain coordinator. There's other coordinators throughout the state as well that she oftentimes partners with in building those relationships. So we'll make sure that you get her information as well.
Okay.
But thanks for being here today. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Any other questions that we have, or topics that you would like to share? Success stories or programs that you're trying to get started?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, Kurt, Madison and Columbus are about an hour away from each other, so that's within our local area to actually go get farmers as well.
Okay. I was thinking that Bloomington was probably closer, but I guess, yeah, Madison is closer to. I'm from Shelbyville, so I'm a little bit further away.
I know where that is too. I was born and raised in Batesville, so you probably know where that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Granite Capital.
Yeah. I think
All right,
that's
it looks like we've got some emails in the chat too. So I will make sure I may cut out the second half of our recording and just make sure that we have John's presentation on the recording, but I'll get that sent to all of you with your emails, and then I will also make sure that that you receive Veronica's information about the upcoming grant opportunities and office hour registration. That's such a great opportunity. Veronica is a farm to school coordinator as well up in Northwest Indiana, and has been doing farm to school work for a long time, and so such a valuable resource. Sophie Lindley is on here as well. She may be traveling. We were in West Lafayette earlier today. She's our farm to school coordinator and works at the Indiana Department of Education within school nutrition. So there's a team that's here to support you. Our next office hours will be in July, and we will be doing a presentation on how to tell your farm to school story, different opportunities for promotion, thinking about what John had said earlier, getting our admin on board, or even getting parents and students on board. How can we make sure that they are aware of what's happening in the cafeteria and in the classroom? So I will make sure that an invite is sent out. If you're not following us on our social media pages, I encourage you to do so. We've been trying to post on there regularly, as well as LinkedIn. And then our website also has really a large database of valuable resources to help you get started or expand your program. Thank you all so much for being here today. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you again, John, for your presentation and all the work that you've been doing in Madison. It really is inspiring, and I hope that those who attended today feel inspired to start something new within their districts.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.